Not enough resources, huh? That's what you think? Huh? I got an idea. You really think I don't have enough upgrade materials?
Please wait. Trader activated.
Alright. Easy crafting. Blap.
Activated.
What sorcery is this? See, all this that I'm doing right now would have took hours and hours of grind, but instead gave it to myself immediately. You know why? Because this game shouldn't have had RPG mechanics. If I wanted RPG mechanics, I'll go play an MMORPG. I'll go play World of Warcraft. I'll go play like an actual real RPG, not this. This is not an RPG. This is a hack and slash game. You know, the thing that I think about with that argument with the whole like, oh, you're supposed to do the side quest, that's how you're supposed to get other gear and all that stuff. Like, that should never be a forced reason to do side quests. Like, if I want to do side quests, I should be able to do it on my own terms. You know what I mean? Like, if you were like me and was raised with old school games in mind, like NES, going into, you know, GameCube and Genesis and Dreamcast, you know, all the old shit. Old games didn't have RPG mechanics unless it was an actual RPG, like Elder Scrolls, like World of Warcraft, like D&D, Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights, you know, that kind of shit. Like, they're specified to be RPGs. These games, like God of War, were just hack and slash games. At the most, maybe you're upgrading some perks, you know, like maybe you'll unlock like a new weapon type or something, but that's the most that it does. It's never this shit where it's like statistics and trying to put on the right pieces of gear so that you can be stronger or weaker or do more damage. You know what I mean? Like, none of this stuff was in old games unless it was meant to be an RPG, like I said. So that's why I get annoyed with a lot of new games now that have RPG mechanics and they feel unnecessary. Namely the Assassin's Creed series. How Assassin's Creed series used to just be normal games that you played, and you played it at your own way. If you wanted to go stealthy, you can do that. If you want to go aggressive, you can do that. It's your choice. Whereas now, these new Assassin's Creed games are all focused on the same aspects, just like in God of War, where you have to upgrade your gear and you have to level up and you have to be the right level range for the mobs. You know, and it's like why are we doing this? Like, why does every single game have to have some grindy mechanic now? It makes no sense sometimes. So it annoys me with that stuff, and that's why I bypass it with cheats. Yeah, I miss the old school games. You know, and this is also a reason why Elden Ring was such a popular game. Not because of the RPG mechanics, I mean, it had it, but because of the freedom of choice in that game. When you created your character, you could choose to be anything you want to be. So you get to, you know, be a sorcerer, you want to go in as an assassin type, you want to be like a sword and shield guy, like a tank. You can play it the way you want to play it. And then when it came to exploration, it didn't ever show you where to go. You just kind of explored and found things, you know, unless you cheated and went on YouTube and saw a guide on, you know, where to go and what to do and where's the best gear and all that. Then that's on you if you wanted to do all that crap. But if you actually played the game raw, like I did, and just like played through it and saw how far you got, whatever ending you ended up with is what you ended up with, then everybody's outcome is going to be way different. And that's why that game was so special, is because like literally somebody else's gameplay would have been completely different from somebody else's, because of maybe the person A would have got into a boss fight in some cave that person B never even found the cave and never even knew about that boss. You know what I mean? So that's what makes that game so special. And that's why old school games were special too, with that aspect, because you were never told what to do. It was never linear. You just kind of like figured it out. And then, you know, there was no YouTube and there wasn't any like guides like that unless you bought a big strategy guide, like those big thick ones that they used to have. Like there was like this. It was like $60 for the fucking guide. It's funny. But anyway, like that was the only way that you knew where stuff was back in the day. So now with the internet, of course, things are easier to access, and it's easier to min max, and it's easier to like find everything immediately, you know. And that was something that kind of annoyed me too when I was playing Wukong. Is I had you know, of course I'm a streamer, so it's different, but I had people in the chat constantly telling me what I should be doing, and I don't like the backseating when it comes to single player games like this, because I like to try to figure it out on my own. So I tried really hard not to look at chat too much, because chat would have said, oh, but if you turned left, there was a boss over there that gives you a powerful weapon. You know, I would have never known that if I was just playing it by myself. You know what I mean? So that's the difference, and that's why I love playing games raw on my first playthrough, and then on my second playthrough, if I really love the game, then I'll min max and I'll try to figure out what's the best. But on my first time, I love just like figuring things out on my own. You know, it's great. But yeah, anyway, that's my whole rant on single player RPG, whatever. That's it. Guides feel like the best and worst thing in the gaming experience. Yeah, you got to kind of take it you know, in your own way. Like if you really feel like it ruins your experience, then just don't read them. Don't read guides, don't watch a YouTube video. Just ignore anything guide related when you're playing the game for the first time. Then later on, like I said in a video previously, if you get lost, then Google it, then look up a guide, then, you know what I mean? Like that's when it makes it okay to Google stuff and figure things out that way. But I highly recommend playing games raw. It's so much more fun to figure things out on your own than being, you know, min-maxing every fucking game you play. You know what I mean? Like it makes it tiring and it makes it too predictable.